A few hours before my wedding, a gift arrived that didn't belong to any registry or guest list. It was small, wrapped in ivory paper and tied with a silver ribbon so perfectly it looked deliberate, like a message more than a present. I remember thinking it was just another wedding gift, some token of luck or love. But when I slid my fingers under the ribbon and peeled back the paper, the room seemed to tilt. Inside was a stack of photographs, grainy yet unmistakable. My fiancée, the woman I had promised to marry in 3 hours, lay tangled in sheets with my best man, my brother. His hands on her waist, her face pressed to his chest, both of them smiling the kind of smile people wear only when they feel safe, comfortable, intimate. The kind of smile you never expect to see directed at someone else. My ring slipped off my finger, as if it had been waiting for this moment to let go. It landed inside the box with a soft, treacherous sound. I powered down my phone, placed it on the dresser, and walked out of the hotel room. Out of the wedding, out of that version of myself. No explanations, no farewells, just absence. For a year, I became a ghost, living in the quiet edges of the world, trying to make sense of a betrayal that felt like poison spreading through my veins. Then one night, the silence cracked. My mother called. Her voice was shaky, splintered at the edges, and she told me the truth about the box. It hadn't been sent by a stranger. It wasn't a cruel but random twist of fate. It was them. They had sent it themselves, her and my brother together, to break me before I could ever find out on my own. That box wasn't a warning. It was a weapon. They had wanted me gone, erased, defeated. I lay awake that night staring at the ceiling, the weight of it pressing down, and realized grief was over. It was clarity now. My silence wasn't weakness anymore. It was strategy. I began to think back, at her stolen glances when she thought I wasn't looking, at his easy declarations of brotherhood, at the small cracks in their stories I had ignored. I wasn't just betrayed. I had been mocked, a prop in their private performance. They believed I had vanished broken. They never realized I had vanished to prepare. I didn't hire private eyes or lurk in shadows. I followed paper and pixels instead. Bank accounts, business filings, property deeds, quiet trails they assumed no one would trace. And what I found was rot. Loans in my father's name my brother had taken without consent. Signatures she had forged to buy luxury cars. Together, they had built an empire on deceit. I didn't confront them. Not yet. I let them grow comfortable, let their arrogance bloom. Meanwhile, I collected everything. Copies, recordings, contracts, even the untouched wedding venue booking still under my name. Every piece of their foundation was mine to pull. My first move was quiet. I froze the accounts tied to my father's trust. Overnight, their money dried up. Bills stacked. Creditors called. Their credit turned to dust. Next, I sent anonymous packages to the board of my brother's company. Proof of fraud, stolen contracts, falsified signatures. Within a week, he was suspended. She tried to hold him together, but her hands were already dirty. I had evidence of her embezzlement, too. A discreet email to her firm with a forged signature scan attached, and by Friday, she was fired. I stayed silent, because revenge works best when the blade is invisible. The final blow had to be public. It had to echo in their world of glitter and champagne. I chose their anniversary party. A gaudy celebration thrown to prove to everyone they had won. Cameras flashing, guests laughing, the perfect backdrop for collapse. I walked in late, dressed in black. The moment they saw me, their faces went pale. I said nothing. I simply placed a small box on their table, same ivory wrapping, same silver ribbon. My brother reached for it with trembling hands. She froze. He opened it. Inside were the same photographs they had once sent me. Beneath them lay a USB drive. When I plugged it into the projector, the screens came alive. Document after document, transaction after transaction. Recordings of her laughter as she plotted forged signatures. His voice instructing her how to drain accounts. Every secret they had buried lit up across the walls for all their guests to see. She broke first, tears, denials, begging. He followed, anger in his face, but fear in his voice. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I just watched their empire crumble in front of the audience they had wanted to impress. The fallout was immediate. Their reputations shredded. Friends distanced themselves. Lawsuits bloomed. Investigations opened. And me? I walked out just as calmly as I had on the morning of my wedding a year ago. But this time, I wasn't disappearing. This time, I was free. I don't regret leaving that day. I don't regret the silence, the year in the shadows. Betrayal doesn't deserve rage. It deserves precision, patience, the quiet satisfaction of watching them choke on their own lies. They thought they ended me with that gift box. All they did was hand me the blueprint for their destruction. And as I closed the door behind me that night, leaving them in ruin, I finally smiled. Because real justice isn't loud. It's silent.